We are now talking with CK3, one of the top teams here at the Counter-Strike tournament at the Babbage's CPL event. And tell us about your team. Where did you guys come from? How did you form?
We started with 3 guys, which is where the actual CK3 came from, that lived in Austin and played Team Fortress, and built up from there. And we started by only taking guys that lived in Austin. We only wanted to play with people that we knew, and that's continued mostly to this day. There's a couple guys who don't live in the Austin area. Some guys are moving there now, but we switched to Counter-Strike. And I think that's one of the keys to the team is everybody's close friends. A lot of these teams that are showing up at the event are meeting their other members for the first time, whereas we've known each other for a year or more, weekly lunches and outings and whatever else. So it's more than just the game with our team.
Okay. We were talking a few minutes ago, and you can talk about it now too, some of the past successes you guys have had as a team. The titles that you hold and things like that, tournaments you've won.
Domain of Games West Champion, Domain of Games League Champion, STA Invite. The first invite we were the winner of that. We were the winner of. We're currently number 1 in STA. We're currently on the top 20 of all of the internet played leagues. As a top 20, we're actually ranked between 1 and 10 as a 9.0, which is the highest ever on that list. We are now currently on a 40-win winning streak, the longest we've ever had. The longest before that was 37. We're just really on a roll.
Okay. Is this the first time you've competed in a CPL event?
This is the first official CPL event, but this is the third time we've been to one as a group.
Okay.
The other events were unofficial. Last time we were here, we actually came in second to Sin, or actually RS at the time. RS and True merged to form Sin. So RS actually took first at the last event, and we took second. And we're here to change that.
To change that. Now, out of all this success you've had, what's been the most exciting moment so far for you guys?
I guess kind of a combination of everything, I think. Or the first time we were number 1 in the top 20 was big, but as far as I'm concerned, and I think most of the other guys, it's all exciting. And we're friends, and we do this to have a good time.
Okay.
And so far everything has been a blast, and we're going to make sure that it stays that way.
Okay. Now describe the dynamics of your team. How do you guys approach the game? Do you employ any special strategies? What makes you guys good?
Practice about an hour and a half after every match. We have before at every match. We have a match almost every day, minus like Friday and Saturday.
Over the internet or locally? Over
the internet. Every month we have a LAN party. We all get together, play. We all approach. Some of us approach it very professionally. Some of us are a little bit less adamant about how we play, but we all play together. And when we come together, we're all very focused and just all phenomenal players.
A lot of it comes down to the sheer volume that we play. We have a league match Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night. So there's a match 4 nights a week, plus an hour and a half's practice before then, plus a Saturday practice. So Friday's really the only night off. With over 20 guys, it's not too hard to manage schedules. You can always get 5-6 guys in there. And often lately, when the server's capped at 14 players per practice, we have guys sitting outside that want to get into practice and haven't been able to show up. So we're working on changing the practicing a little bit. But we've gone into detail on maps that I don't know how many other teams have done, where we've actually got printouts of the maps from an overhead perspective, where we're drawing out strats and assigning positions. Early on it was just all for kicks, and then when we realized how good we could be, we kind of stepped up and took it to the next level and make sure that we're as good as we possibly can be. And if that makes us number 1, then that's what we'll be. And if we end up number 2, well, maybe we'll quit.
Well, are there any special strategies or gameplay tactics that you guys are known for that are kind of like the CK3 brand of gameplay?
The para rush.
Whenever we're really rolling somebody up really bad, every single one of us buys a para at the last round or the second to last round, and we'll rush it just for the hell of it. It's kind of like, it's almost like
stress relief.
It's stress relief for us, and it's got to be one of the most demoralizing tactics that we've ever used. Basically, we just got para rushed, and I've heard him say it before.
Okay.
But that's the only That's other than that,
Everything
sort of playing
else,
around.
all of our tactics, we really switch them up and try and remain
you can't
really
be
fluid,
predictable.
because after a while, you become predictable.
Yeah, you can't be predictable. Otherwise, as a matter of fact, even in game, you can't be predictable, because as soon as they have an idea as to what it is you're doing, they're going to figure it out and find a way to try to break it. So you have to switch it up, you know.
Okay.
And seems to have been working for us so far.
Okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit about what drew you guys to Counter-Strike. I mean, there's Quake 3 out there that's more arcade-based. This is more realistic-based. What drew this group of players to Counter-Strike as opposed to something like Quake 3?
The first time I played was at QuakeCon, or right after QuakeCon, 2000. No, it was 99, sorry. That's kind of early. Started playing it for a while, and I had been playing like Team Fortress before that, and had really gotten into the team play aspect of it. And the weapons and stuff were pretty cool and stuff, and the way the gameplay was pretty cool. But then I realized that, to really play this, you have to play with a clan, and that's why I looked for these guys.
There's not any more, as far as I'm concerned, there's not any more of a thrill than to be able to do something with a group. It's fun whenever you're by yourself, and if you win, it's great. You've done your job and you won, and you can put your hands up in the air. But whenever you win with 5 other people, you are all together, and you've got it's like, hey, we're having a big party here, and I think that's the most exciting thing about it. Because I started playing Half-Life Deathmatch, and it was fun and all, but it's just not the same thing. You don't have anybody to lean over and go, yeah, we did it, whenever it's over.
There's a lot of guys on the team who still play one-on-one deathmatch, Quake 3 Arena, Rocket Arena, whatever else. Some of them do it in spare time. Some of them are actually going to be competing this weekend. And we wish them luck, but our primary focus is still on Counter-Strike.
Right.
There's something about it that I think part of it is that it was in beta so long, a public beta that constantly changed, that made the game. There were changes that you either loved or hated, but it always made the game new. So every couple of months you had to kind of readjust.
Right.
And some people fell through the cracks. Something changed about the game that they didn't like much at all. But that was a constant struggle for us over the past year, is figuring out which of the guys is willing to try to adjust and which of them adjust instantly. There's guys you just can't shake, changing the way a weapon works.
Well, that's another thing about Counter-Strike also, in that it was a beta, and it did start out by just a couple of guys, taking care of everything, and they paid attention to what was going on with the players.
Like they were really listening to you as a community.
Everybody that played the game was involved in what went on, and a lot of the games that come out, it's like, this is the game, here it is, enjoy it. And if it's great, it's great. If it's great except for one tiny little thing that makes things difficult, too bad. But with Counter-Strike, or at least up until this point, the community's had, a voice, albeit a small voice, but a voice in saying, hey, this is great, but if it was like this, we could do it better, or it'd be more fun, or it'd be,
More competitive.
yeah.
Okay. Well, now you've played one match, correct, so far?
Yes.
How'd that go?
25-3.
25-3. And you feel like you're in your vibe?
I'm a little down that we lost one round in the first half, and the 2 rounds in the second half. It's that icebreaker. Once you've lost one, then a couple more don't really matter. But that first one, when you finally lose one, it's like, damn it, shut up.
Okay.
And we're not, no disrespect to the guys
Yeah,
that play
of course not.
K4H. I mean, they're a good team and everything. Every round that we lost was really close, and it was usually due to a mistake on our part. And I'm sure a lot of the rounds that they lost were due to a mistake on their part. I mean, nobody's perfect, but when you know the mistake, and you've been playing so long that you say, oh, we wouldn't have lost that round if I wouldn't have got greedy to go after one more kill, or left the position I was supposed to be guarding and screwed my buddy over who was stuck in a position. But yeah, I think we're getting rolling right now. We have to play one more match in this qualification section. Because we brought 3 teams, only one of them got auto berth, so the other 2 teams actually have to fight through the qualifying round. We win one more match, which will take us to the top 8 of the single limb, and those top 8 teams immediately get moved to the double elimination tournament. And from there, everybody's pretty much in the money, and double a limb is always a better way to go. So.
3 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone that now you come across as pretty confident. Is there anyone that you're watching back for at this tournament besides your main rival?
Apart from Sin, the next person on my list I'd have to say would be E9, who came in 4th in Cologne.
They're Germans.
Basically, they're an unknown because they don't compete in any leagues with us because they're on another continent.
Right.
So, but they came in and they rocked it up in their first match. I don't believe they lost a single round. So we're looking forward to playing them and kind of seeing how we measure up against overseas clans. There are other good teams here, but because of the timing of the event, so close to the holidays and in the middle of the school year near finals, where you're automatically going to lose some people. A lot of the teams are a ragtag group. You know, let me pick 2 guys out of this clan and 2 guys out of this clan and put them together. And so they don't have the conformity and the teamwork established. They're basically coming in on their deathmatch skills.
Okay.
So right now it's just Sin and E9 are the ones we're on the lookout for them.
Okay. Have you played Sin before? You have, correct?
We have.
And how'd that go?
When we played RS at the last CPL, they won the finals. Then they did the merger, and we've played Sin once online since then, and we won that one.
Okay.
That was actually in the DOG tournament.
Okay. What do you think about the organization so far at the Half-Life Counter-Strike tournament?
We're here to come and have a good time.
Uh-huh.
You know, and we sort of feel like up until this point, CPL's really been all about Quake, and we're overjoyed that that Counter-Strike is an official tournament finally.
It's a good chance for the game that we like to come into its own. I mean, it was the most popular online game for the past 9-10 months or so, beating out, despite the fact that it was free.
There's so many more players, Counter-Strike players, and Counter-Strike servers than Quake. I mean, tons more.
You know, in general, the CPL's done a really good job, and we're thankful that they brought this and got a money tournament going on. It's still in its infancy, and they're showing signs that they're willing to work with the teams to improve the events in the future, and we'll be in every one of them. Anytime there's a big Counter-Strike tournament, CK3 will send at least one team.
Okay. I've just got one more question for you. Do you think the gameplay style of any of the top teams is going to change because there's more at stake, because of the money?
That's the one issue with the tournament format. Currently, all the leagues have switched to a max round format, which allows each team to play X number of rounds and a half, so that everybody has equal chances and there's no clock involved. The old format was based on a time limit where you played a 20 or a 35-minute half. Okay. They're using the older format here, playing 20-minute halves. And what that can allow you to do, if you win big in the first half, is then you can sit back and hide in the second half, let the time run out. Even if you lose every round, since the scores get added together, you can win by attrition.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to avoid.
And that's the tactic. That's the only kind of tactic that I think we're worried about seeing in the event.
Can you see the Valve and the creators of this game getting together and fixing that in any particular way? Any suggestions you have?
Well, the Counter-Strike team already has. The Counter-Strike team has added a variable so that you can turn off the time limit and set up a number of max rounds, so the format automatically works. However, at the time the CPL started playing in the tournament, that format was still fairly new. It was in all of the leagues, all the major leagues at the time, but it was still relatively untested by their standards.
And they were very worried. The reason why, and they know, they were aware of it, they said their answer was they were really worried about time restraints. In the very rare, or in my opinion, impossible event that all teams camp out all the rounds and they use every last second of time available, the tournament wouldn't be able to finish on time. But with the way that the game's played, there's just no way that would have ever happened.
Okay. So switching to the max round format doesn't give you any incentive to camp.
Okay.
You still have the incentive to attack. You get the chance to play offense and defense equally, and it'll work out. And we've already talked to the CPL, and the CPL is looking into that, and you may see it in the future events.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to this event getting bigger and better every time they do it.
Okay.
CPL always puts on a good show, and we always have a good time.
Right. So, do you have any closing thoughts?
I want to know why these other two guys didn't say anything.
Okay. Well, we'll catch up with you later in the tournament and see how you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.